Welcome back to the channel, Choppers. My name is Joe Creasey, if you don't know me by now. I'm an ex-tour player who has played on a tour for 6 years. So today I'm here to help out your golf. Now what we're going to be speaking about today is the fancy spin, the fancy chip shots around the green and how they're causing you to shoot worse scores. The 58-degree wedge or the sand wedge or the lob wedge, whatever you guys like to call it, is sometimes your best friend, but most of the time I'm pretty sure it'll be your biggest enemy. So we're going to teach you today how to stop using this club and improve your scores. So let's get into the video. So here we have a basic chip shot, a chip shot that is about 30 yards probably. We've got a little bump to go over in front of us, and then we roll it onto the green where we've got about 15 foot to deal with of green, and then it goes down the slope towards the flag. Now walking up to this shot, most people will just walk up to it like this. We've got our ball here. I know what club I've got my 58 or my sand wedge. They walk up to the shot, they go, I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck it on the green, spin it a little bit and get it as close as possible, which is fine. You know, if you're a good player, you can probably stand here and go, okay, got my 58, let's see what we can do. And look, you knock it on, you hit the spinny one, it goes online, but, and I say but, I hit that chip pretty good and pretty much how I wanted it to, but the ball span a lot. So most people would go, oh, I hit a pretty good chip, but is it a good chip? Let's try the same shot again and let me explain. So we've got another ball down here. We're going to try and play the same shot. I want to try and replicate that shot as much as possible. So we've got the 58 again, land it on. Okay, so I feel like I've hit the same shot. So because I'm a good player, I've hit pretty much the exact same shots, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to show you that even a tour player standard, I'm not saying I'm tour player standard anymore, but even someone with my skill or my class, I hope that doesn't sound big-headed, but someone with my skill can hit the same shot with the 58 roughly twice, right? The problem here is most people can't hit that shot exactly the same twice, especially your high handicappers, especially your mid to high handicappers, and it's causing them so many problems. Let me tell you why. So the number one reason why the 58 is causing you issues with your short game is, unlike a tour player or a very, very good golfer, you don't strike the golf ball great all the time, which means inconsistencies, which is fine. We are all inconsistent at times, but when you are using a 58 degree and you are inconsistent with it, whether that's with the strike, whether that's with how hard you hit it, how much spin you get on it, it causes a lot of problems. So for example, I hit 2 pretty good wedge shots, very similar, had very much the same amount of spin, very much similar loft, whereas when you guys hit these shots, you are creating inconsistent amount of spin. So sometimes you will hit shots that you expect to roll out more. Sometimes you'll hit shots that you expect to spin more, and they do the complete opposite, which then leaves you a 10-footer past the hole, a 15-footer short of the hole. So there's massive inconsistencies. So how do we get them inconsistencies out your game and improve your shots around this area without using the 58 degree? So what I've gone and got ourselves a 9-iron. Yes, that's right, a 9-iron. My 9-iron goes about 150 yards. I don't know how far yours goes, but today we're going to use it for this 30-yard shot. I've marked my 2 balls from the previous shot on the green with a T-peg, and I'm going to show you how this shot, even if you don't make the best contact, will result in more consistent shots closer to the hole. So the idea of the shot here is to land it just on top of the slope or just past it, let the ball run down towards the hole. We're going to have our weight forward slightly, back of the stance, hands slightly forward, and just commit. And there you go. Simmer, simmer. Okay, so that one itself has come out a little flush. It's come out pretty quick, pretty fast, pretty hard. But the error that could have been made there was reduced by using the 9-iron. Because if I duffed that shot, fatted it, finned it slightly, the way I've hit it and the way I've portrayed it is still going to go a relatively good distance. If I fat the shot, what will happen is, more than likely, it will still go, it will still have the top spin and the forward spin and roll out, and it will probably end up on the green and leave myself a putt. If I fin it, it's probably going to go past the hole, and it's probably, you know, going to stay on the green, and I'm still going to leave myself a lengthy putt. Whereas if I'm to fat it or fin it with the 58-degree wedge, we're in a whole different ball game. How many times have you stood there on a chip and gone, I'm just going to hit a cute one here. You fin it, it's through the green, you leave yourself a chip again. Or the complete opposite, you say, I'm just going to hit a nice soft one here, you fat it, and you've got the same chip again. Now you're in trouble. But with the 9-iron, it reduces the errors. There is a lot more room for mistakes, and it's a lot more forgiving. So let's see what happens with the second shot. Okay, so we're going to play the same shot again. I'm going to attempt to play the same shot and see how it goes. I've only gone to hold it. I think I've held it. So again, I'm going to be completely honest. That one, I don't know if you could tell by the sound of the strike, was actually a little finny. But did it look anything different to the shot from before, which wasn't finny? I would probably say no. And the reason is, it's got forgiveness there. The club and the loft is already going to do the work. The 9-iron is a lot stronger than the 58. It already wants the ball to go forward, whereas the 58 wants the ball to go up in the air. So let's check out the consistency. So, as you can see, here's the first 58 we hit and the second 58. I tried to hit exactly the same shots. And now, here are the two 9-iron shots I hit. And look, this one was slightly finny, almost went in, and this one was played to perfection. Now you're going to look at me and say, Joe, but you could have just hit better 58-degree wedge shots. I could have, but actually them two shots I hit weren't necessarily bad shots. They actually span a lot more than I anticipated, and I just didn't hit them hard enough. Whereas these two shots, I had the same amount of practice strokes, had the same amount of shots, and look at the results. The results are 10 times better. You don't always have to pick up that 58-degree wedge. That 58-degree wedge is there for one reason, and one reason only. And let me tell you what that is. So the 58-degree wedge, what is it actually here for? This wedge is designed to get you over obstacles. It's why there's so much loft on the club. The idea is that you attack the ball rolls up the face, creates spin, and takes off and goes over the objects that are in your way. Now, over the years, golfers have learned to adapt and learn how to close the club face slightly, attack it a little bit steeper, create a lot of backspin on the ball, which is great. But as they've done that, they've also created a lot of inconsistencies if you're not a good golfer. So now I'm going to show you another example of what other clubs you can use to replace this club. So here we have our next chip shot, very straightforward. We've got not much green to work with, but we've got a lot of grass in front of the ball. No obstacles to go over, nothing in the way. I mean, we could putt this realistically. But again, your average player, your high handicapper would walk up to this shot, instantly reach for the 58, which is fine. You can do that if you're a good golfer. But if you're not a good golfer and you can't consistently strike your shots well, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage. So let's find out what I do with the 58. Now, I've not had any practice shots on this chip shot, so we're going to see someone of my skill level what happens when I do this chip shot with the 58. Now, I'm going to be pretty honest. I've got a really nice lie here. I'm going to try and land it on the green, round about this area. I'm going to try and land it around here, spin it, and stop it short of the hole. So let's see what I can do. Not the greatest shot, if I'm being honest. I expected a little bit more spin. Didn't happen. Also wasn't the best connection. So let's try again. Let's see what number 2 does. So, okay, here we go. Number 2. Okay, number 2 was a lot better. Strike was a lot better. Flew it a little bit too far. So let's see where the ball's ended up. Now remember, I didn't want to go past the hole. You know, and I did on both shots. The amount of spin that I put on them was not enough to keep me short of the hole. And again, what have we spoke about? Someone of my skill, Someone at my level should be able to control that. So if I'm struggling to control it off that type of grass, that type of lie, because remember, lie, grass, wind, strike, it all affects how much spin is put on the ball. If I'm struggling to control it, how are you 12 handicappers going to struggle? How are you 18 handicappers going to find it? It's going to be very difficult. And even someone like me, I struggle still. Now, albeit I'm not as good as I used to be, I still struggle. So here's how we're going to fix. So again, I've walked up to the green, I've marked the balls, okay? Now I'm always going to try and get it as close to the hole no matter what. So please don't think that I'm just trying to show you an example and purposely mess these shots up or anything, because I'm not. I've actually hit very good shots on every one. So how do we beat this shot here without using the 58? We're going to take a 6-iron. Hopefully you can see that. But I've got a 6-iron. You have to trust me. Look, there's hardly any loft on it. And we're going to treat it like it's a putt. We're going to read the grass going up to the green, and we're going to hit a putt with the 6-iron. We've got our 6-iron. We're going to play it exactly the same as we played the 9-iron. Back in the stance, hands forward, and we're just going to prod it up there. Just get the ball moving, prod it up there. Now I've looked at the green. I think it's going to go a little bit left to right. So let's just prod it up there. And look, I've absolutely scuffed that. I can't explain to you how flicky that was with my hands, how low on the face I've struck that, and that is the result. That is the result. That is actually so perfect of what I'm trying to convey in this video, is that if I had hit that shot with that wedge, that ball could have gone over the green. It could have been fat. There could have been so many outcomes. But with the 6-iron there, the ball has just started to roll forward. That's all it's done. All I've done is give it a bit of forward momentum, and it's been about right, and it wasn't perfect. I'm so happy that shot's happened. Let's go into shot number 2. So, okay, we're going to try the same again, but with a bit of better connection. Hands forward, little press, and go. Oh, that was so good. See, now that shot was exactly how I wanted to play it. Just a little press and get the ball rolling. It makes sense. So as we get up to the green, you can see the spread. Now these two are with the 6-iron. These two are with the 58. Now, you might say that the last 6-iron I hit over here is actually outside of this 58, which it might be. But this one has left me a much easier putt up the hill, whereas this one has a downhill left to righter. But hopefully you're starting to understand how much more difficult it is to hit these good shots with the 58, the sand wedge, the lob wedge degreed clubs. I've just used a 6-iron from 25 yards, if that, and I've used a 9-iron from 30 yards. And they've both been inside the 58 degree lob wedge, sand wedge club. So I'm going to show you guys one more shot, one more example of how you can improve your short game and why the 58 degree is causing you problems, okay? Okay, so here we have a relatively looking straightforward chip. It's not. We have a 5 yard mound to go up height wise, so elevation difference. We then have to come across a left to right slope that funnels the whole way down the green. Now again, most people walk up straight for the loftiest club in the bag. Let's see how I handle this. Obviously it's off a very tight lie as well, so a tight lie makes it a little bit harder. The ground's a bit dry, a bit breaky up, so you're now starting to, bring in outside objects that are going to cause you problems. So this lie is going to cause me a problem. I already know it. I have to hit this shot perfect. So I'm going to try and do that. So I want to land it on top of the slope. I want to bounce it twice, and then I want it to check a little bit. So let's see. Okay, so I've actually hit. Oh my gosh. It had so much spin on the second bounce. It's probably left myself a good 10 foot short. Let me try that again, because that was actually a relatively decent chip. You can actually see how decent that chip was to where I struck it. So again, I'm hitting decent chips and they're just leaving me a certain distance. So I think I need to be a little bit more aggressive on this one and a little bit further left. So we're going to try the same shot again, just a little bit firmer. Oh my Lord, that's spun even more. I tried to be more aggressive, which generated more spin, which left it even further short. I need to show you this. This is getting so good. So chip number 1 here was a very good chip, rode the slope well, just had a little bit too much spin on the second bounce, which is fine. Chip number 2 was even better. The tight line being even more aggressive, I generated even more spin, which caused it to come up 10 to 15 yards short of the first chip. Now you guys are probably going to say in the comments, well Joe, you just need to hit the first one harder or hit the second one even harder. Yes, that's true. But what happens if I do that with the second one, say I hit it even harder and I fin it or I fat it? The bad shot becomes even worse. And even for someone like me, like I said, you saw the strike mark, you saw how good it was. These can be the inconsistency even when you're a good golfer. So let me show you again how you can deal with this. So here we go. What club are we going to use this time? This time we're going to use the 3-wood. That's right, 200 yards plus with this bad boy for most people. And we're going to use it for a chip shot. Now let me explain why. Now the reason we're going to use the 3-wood for the chip shot is, what was the main issue with our 58 from this area last time? We had way too much spin on it. Now what the 3-wood is going to allow us to do is the ball is just going to hit this trampoline face or whatever face they call it these days, and it's just going to spring off. It's just going to go forward. We don't have to worry about how much spin there is on the ball. All we have to do with this club is control the distance. We don't have to worry about height. We don't have to worry about anything. Let's control the distance. It takes everything else completely out the game, even that slope. So we've got the 3-wood. We're going to play it exactly the same way we'd play the 9-iron and the 6-iron. Back in the stance, weight forward. I'm gripped down on it because that's the way I like to do it. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but that's something I like to do. We're going to aim slightly further left because the ball's not going to travel up in the air and over a certain amount of distance. We're going to hit the ground all the way. So now we just have to work on distance control, and let's give it a go. And it's gone up. It's gone across the slope. I tell you what, that's actually fantastic. That's actually fantastic. Not even I could have played the shot that well. I didn't even think I could play the shot that well. Well, I know I could, but do you know what I mean? First time. Let's try it again, okay? So that shot was good. Once we get up there, I'll show you how close it is. So let's try it, the same shot again. Replicate that shot. You know, we don't have too much movement. And let's see what we can do. It's so simple. I can't tell you how simple this is. I wish I had listened to myself more when I was on tour playing, because I was the one that was trying to play the flash shots. I was the one that was always trying to spin the shot in there. When realistically, I have all the clubs in the bag to get the ball as close to the hole without causing myself any issues, and I chose to ignore them. Don't be like me, people. Be like the new version of me that doesn't care how I get the ball close to the hole. I just care about getting the ball as close to the hole as possible. Let's go take a look at these shots. So here we have chip number 2 from the 58, chip number 1 from the 58, and there we have the 2 3-wood shots. These are literally, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 foot, maybe 8 foot. And do you know the only issues I had with the 3-wood shots was just making sure I got the distance right. That was literally it. The only thing that could have gone wrong with that 3-wood shot was either hitting it too hard or hitting it too soft. I didn't have to worry about anything else. Whereas with the 58 shot, I had to worry about how far I flew it, how much spin was on it, how the strike was I far enough up the hill. I had to encounter so many different things, the wind. With the 3-wood, I really didn't have to worry. Now, yes, you're going to look strange, but what would you rather? Would you rather look strange and end up this close to the hole, or look normal and leave yourself 20 to 30 foot or a 10-foot putt and you walk off with a bogey, whereas you've got a real good chance of holing these putts? I know what I'd rather do. Like I said, don't be like old Joe Creasey that want to be all flash, you know, clicking the fingers, spin, 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 stay soft. Don't be like that. Be like the Freewood, the new Joe Creasey. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video and hopefully I've taught you something. You know, we all want to be incredibly cool looking. We all want to be able to hit the cool shots. But should I tell you what is actually really cool? What's really cool is walking in the clubhouse, signing your scorecard and saying, I shot under my handicap. I shot under the gross par of the golf course. I shot my best ever round. I broke 100. That's really cool. Hitting one good chip shot, spinning it, and then messing up 7 others, that's not that cool. But again, this might just be me, but this is why I think the 58, your lob wedge or your sand wedge, is ruining your golf game. So again, if this has helped you out, please smash a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, turn that notification bell on. If you're having any problems in your golf game and you want me to try and have a look and see if there's a tip I can give you, please let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, thank you guys for the amount of support you've been showing me over the past couple of weeks. The video numbers have been going up, 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 subscriber numbers up, 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 comments up, up, thumbs up. It's been incredible. So a big thank you to you. And I'm just going to keep making great videos for you guys. So as always, stay chopping. Well, hopefully I help you out a bit and you don't have to chop it anymore. But as always, stay chopping.